the platforms, Twitter, Google, Facebook, which is also Instagram, all of them use hate speech terms, or not hate speech terms. They have hate speech violations. Like they have a certain rubric where they judge if the content is acceptable or not acceptable. On Twitter, it's called Twitter rules. On Facebook, it's community standards. On Google, I think it's actually hate speech standards. But when I looked at each of them and what's actually written and what qualifies as anti-Semitism or what qualifies as hate speech or even incitement to violence, it's really lacking when it comes to anti-Semitism, because there's a lot of ways that anti-Semitism manifests today that isn't quite addressed when you talk about general hate speech. So these are 4 ways that not all of the platforms are addressing it. The first one is Holocaust denial. Now, let me preface this by saying that Google, which is YouTube, has explicitly banned Holocaust denial. So if there's content that denies the Holocaust on YouTube, it will be removed according to their standards, if they find it, which they're not very good at doing on their own, or if it's reported. However, on Facebook, that's not the case. And also on Twitter, that's not the case. It's okay to deny the Holocaust on Twitter. And these are a few examples of different types of content that we've seen. And also Holocaust revisionism, which is a whole nother issue. I think if someone posts something that is outright Holocaust denial on Twitter, it may be that they remove it. It could be or it could not, which in and of itself is a problem. But if you see content like this, what AJ Pless did a video, which is Holocaust revisionism totally, and also talking about how the Zionist movement benefits from the Holocaust, another form of anti-Semitism, Twitter and Facebook didn't remove this content at all, despite huge pushback from other people who saw this content, even people who are very critical of Israel, because it's inappropriate. So that's something that isn't addressed at all in their terms, and something that really needs to be remedied, because not only is it anti-Semitic, but it contributes to misinformation and purposeful misinformation that leads to violence of Jews, as we saw with incidents like the wave of stabbing attacks in 2015 and 2016, and how much Arabic incitement to violence there was against Jews and against Israelis. As I mentioned, the approach between YouTube and Facebook when it comes to Holocaust denial is very different. This quote is from Mark Zuckerberg. "I'm Jewish, and there's a set of people who deny that the Holocaust happened. I find that deeply offensive. But at the end of the day, I don't believe that our platform should take that down, because I think there are things that different people get wrong." This is mind-blowing that this was his response. It's totally off base. Holocaust denial should absolutely be banned by Facebook and by all social media. And it's not even an issue of free speech. It's an issue of incitement and purposeful misinformation. And if Facebook is trying to take an active role in preventing fake news and misinformation, as they claim that they are, especially now with the new Facebook Oversight Board, they really need to reassess their approach to this, because it's a huge problem and we see how it manifests in real life, unfortunately.